Hello, welcome to this lecture video assignment. This video is made for the evaluation of lecture video assignment for the CS Forces 460 course. The topic is logistic regression. Before going into regression, we'll discuss some definitions. Odds of an event. The odds of an event represents the ratio of the probability that the event will occur to the probability that the event will not occur. If P is the probability of the event, then odds of the event E is given by probability of E divided by 1 minus probability of E. And log of odds is simply the logarithm of odds of an event. Likelihood describes the probability of observed data as a function of parameters of the chosen statistical model. The likelihood is equal to the probability that a particular outcome X is observed when the true value of the parameter is theta. To give an example, let's do the following problem. Suppose we need to make a statistical model of a biased coin. We may choose to believe that the coin has a fixed probability beta of coming up heads. Hence 1 by beta, 1 minus beta for coming up tails. The parameter of the model hence is simply the scalar beta. Now we have been given the following observed data. We toss the coin 4 times and we get the following result: head, head, tail and another head. H stands for head and T stands for tail. Now suppose we choose the parameter beta for our model. Now we calculate what is the likelihood of the data given the parameter is the beta, and that is simply what is the probability of observing this data D given that we have chosen the model parameter to be beta and we assume that the beta is the true parameter. So we have this data: 2 heads, tails and head, and our model is the probability of getting head is beta. This implies that probability of getting tail is 1 minus beta. So we calculate the probability of getting this data D equals to head, tail and head. So we have assumed that the tossing of coins are independent. So if we toss the coin first time and if we toss the coin second time, these are independent event. So this probability can be simply written as the product of the probabilities. It will be given as this. And we know the probability of head is beta. So this simplifies as beta cube into 1 minus beta. So we have calculated that the probability of observing D given the parameter theta given the parameter beta for our coin is equal to beta q into 1 minus beta. This is the likelihood observed data if beta were the true parameter of the biased coin. So which beta is the best? The beta which will maximize the likelihood, which will maximize the probability of observing this data. So to get the best beta for the model, we need to find the beta for which probability of d given beta is maximized. So we just need to find the maximum of beta cube into 1 minus beta, and to do that we can simply find the derivative of this function with respect to beta. So we calculate it is equal to and we set it to 0 to find the optimum value. So beta is equal to 3 by 4 or 0.75. This is the optimal beta for our model, and we can also intuitively see that because there are 3 heads and 1 tail, so roughly beta one can see from here beta will be very much equal to 3 by 4. That is the intuition, but this is the proper calculation. So now that we understand the likelihood, we will now discuss logistic regression. So consider the following problems. Given various properties of an email, will it be considered as a spam by user? Given the health data, for example body mass index, age, sex, etc., will the person catch a certain disease? Will the person vote for a particular party given the demographic characteristics? Given the number of hours a student study subject A, will the student pass the subject? Will the customer purchase the product given his or her likeness data? So in all these problem examples, we see that there is a prediction to be done, and that prediction can take two values, pass or fail, spam or not spam, will give vote or not vote, etc. And this dependent value depends on the continuous variables like health data, BMI, age, sex, number of hours of study. These are continuous variables, but the prediction to be done is a binary variable, and this is where the logistic regression comes. If the prediction variable were a continuous variable, maybe we could have done simple linear regression. But uh, since it is a binary variable, we need logistic regression. Suppose we have a dependent variable y which depend on k independent variable or features x given by x1 x2 up to xk. So as I told, if y was a continuous variable, we may simply use linear regression to find a model. But if y is discrete and it can only take certain class of values, we need logistic regression to find a model. If y is binary like 0 or 1, pass or fail, true or false, it is a problem of binary classification. So we see that the logistic regression are used for the classification problem. So we have now defined that y can take two values 0 and 1, and suppose we have n observations or n labeled examples. So the model is something like this. We assume a linear relationship between log of odds of event y is equal to 1 and features x, and since there is some linear relationship like this, it is called regression. So now let us take the probability of uh, observing y is equal to 1 is f subscript wb. Then the model is log of f of wb by 1 minus f of wb. So we can see that this LHS is simply the log of odds that I had described earlier. So this log of odds is equated to the linear combination of the feature variables. So the parameters are w1, w2, wk and b. So log of f of wb minus by 1 minus f of wb is equated with wx plus b. A simple manipulation will give the f of wb as a function of x, which is equal to sigmoid of wx plus b. So the model is simply the probability is modeled as a sigmoid function. So this model will return the probability of observing something, but our prediction has to be binary. So in that case, we just have to choose a threshold, so that if the probability is greater than that threshold, we will take that as 1, and if the probability is less than that threshold, we will take that as 0. So now that we have described the model, the next task is to finding the parameters w1, w2 up to wk and b. Just like the last time we had described about the likelihood in case of modeling the biased coin, here also we will find the likelihood. The parameters which maximizes the likelihood will give us the best model. So that is the next task. So we maximize the likelihood to find the parameters. Assuming that the n observations are independent, the likelihood function is simply the product of the probabilities. So it is product of probability of y is equal to yj given the parameters w and b, that can be written as the product of f of wb to the power yj into 1 minus f of wb to the power 1 minus yj. For the computational ease, log of the likelihood is taken and that log of likelihood is maximized. So if we take the log, this product will be converted to the sum. So it will be simply sum of yj into log of f of wb plus sum of y1 minus yj into log of 1 minus f of wb. So now that remains is to find the parameters so that this log likelihood is maximized. So this is now is converted to an optimization problem. All that is remain is to calculate the parameters by maximizing this log likelihood. This may be done using optimization technique like gradient descent. So now that we have understood some theory, after this we will do the coding to understand the logistic regression.
Hello everybody. My friend already explained the theory behind the logistical regression. Let us dive into the code and see how it works on a database. So in this code we will be using scikit library to import the data to make the databases, and also same library to get the logistical regression object. So before diving into the code, let us see what a sigmoid curve is and how does it look like. So this is a sigmoid curve. This is also known as logit function or logistical curve, whatever you can call it. This is a mathematical curve. No need to dive more, no need to include more mathematics into it. It is just a simple curve that is used for logistical regression. So this curve, as you can see, there is this 0 and 1, and the curve cuts y-axis at 0.5. So everything above 0.5 is classified as 1, and everything below 0.5 is classified as 0. 1 and 0 is basically classes, and this is our like sigmoid function, 1 plus 1 by exponential minus mx plus b. So this we have two parameters. M and b. So these two parameter control the overall shape of the overall shape is S shaped, but the curves and the overall fitting over the database is uh, tuned by these parameters. So, and the fun part is these parameter we don't have to tune. Basically, the machine train itself and find these parameter that suits on a dataset. So this is our logit function. Let us see how these like parameter effects on a effects on this particular logit function. So I'm using this. Yeah. So I have taken five different m's, basically five different this weight parameter. So as you can see, as I change these weights, the curve also gets changes into this. The middle line flattens as I increase the m part, and let us we have the other parameter b. Let us see how b affects the curve. How b affects the curve. Yeah. So this is how b affects the curve. The overall shape obviously remains as a S shaped, but just a translation over the x-axis. So using this like tuning this m and b, we can train our model on a data set. So this m and b are hyperparameter of this model that like the model decides itself. So the next part is making our data set. So as I said, the data set we will be importing from sklearn library. So uh, we'll need sklearn dot data set. Sorry, from sklearn dot data set. import make classification. So make classification library is just used to make data sets. And sorry, this is data sets. Yeah. From sklearn.linear model import, and this is our model. So let us make our data set. So this make classification, you can see the documentation on their web page. I am just copy pasting it. Yeah, this is the documentation part. So let us change the sample a bit. Yeah, so what this does is this make classification function, they take these parameter and output x and y. X is basically our x part and y is label, the feature part and label part. So the number of samples would be 150. So basically the observation would be 150, and the features would be 1. So it's just a one feature, one label, and x and y. So we expect our x shape to be 150 dot 1 and y shape to be same. So and the number of classes we have taken is 2. You can take 3 or 4. That will do a multi-class classification. This flip y is basically the noise in the data. So let us visualize the data set a bit. So x shape is like, yeah, 200. Oh, sorry, why it is 200? Yeah, it is 150.1. And let us check the shape of the y. Yeah, 150. So y 150. Um, let me print a few elements of x that will help us to visualize it. Yeah, so as you can see there, these are the first 10 element of x, and similarly these are the first 10 element of y. So as we can as we just saw, like this is a this is a binary class classification. The class would either would be 0 or 1. So this says the first observation is of class second, and second observation is class first, and so first class, second, first, and these are the no visualization. So let me actually plot it to make it more visual. Plot. This should be a scatter. Yeah, scatter plot. X, Y. Yeah, as you can see, this is the data are either 0 or 1, and we can see it clearly. It is not linearly separable. We need a S-shaped curve to fit on it. So like S-shaped curve to fit on it, everything above 0.5 is 1, and the theory remains same. So we know that when we like train our model, we need to split our data into training and testing set. So from sklearn library, we will be importing test train split. So what test train split does it? Like it takes two array, and the test size is basically how much you want to allocate, how much percentage you want to allocate uh, the data set into test size, like test array basically. So we got like x train, x test, y train, and y test. So the shape of the x train is 120 cross 1, and the x test should be 150 minus 120, that is 30 cross 1. And similarly with the y test, the shape would be like, yeah, 30, and rest is oh sorry, why it is 30, yeah, y train, it is 120. So let us build a model on this. So first we initialize the model object, that is model logistic regression. So this initializes the model object, and we can just fit it using our training set and the training labels, x train, y train. X train and y train, this should work. Yeah. So we have the model fitted, we can actually see what are the coefficient and what is the what is the m and p, the two parameter we talked about above. What are those using this fitted model? We just have to like model dot coefficient. So this gives the coefficient basically, uh, this one. Let me just scroll up. Yeah, the m part, this is a coefficient and this is the intercept. So we got the coefficient as 3.57 and intercept as minus 1.13. So the model automatically got fitted, magically got fitted over this database and just gave us the intercept and the coefficient. So let us make some. Before that, let me check the score of my model. The score would be x test and y test. The score is basically used to check how well your model is working. Yeah, we are getting a score of 0.96. 0.96 is a 96% times the model is predicting accurately, and rest is it is not predicting accurately. So this is the score. Then let us make some predictions. Let us make some prediction. Let's say it is ypred is equal to model dot predict. What should we predict on? So we should predict on x test only. And let me see ypred. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The ypred, the model predicted like first 10 values is this. Ideally, these values should be similar to the x test. Sorry, it should be extreme. No, it is x test. My bad. It is fine. It should be similar to y test actually. So let us do this. Y test. Yeah. As you can just compare between these. The first three, the model is predicted. The first three predictions are fine. The fourth prediction, like the model did well. The next four is fine. The next two is fine. Yeah. So our model is like working perfectly. So my friend explained that this logistical regression is a probabilistic kind. So let us see what is the probabilistic here. So we can actually see the probability using this function, predict this one, x test. This is a long array. Let me print the first. Yeah. So what it is doing is, this is a multi-dimensional array where each array is correspond to each elements of the original data set. So I mean not the original data set, the x test. Yeah. So the first element is showing the model is 32% probable, like it is 30 it the model being in the class 1 is 32% and model being in the class 2 is 67%. Hence you can see the model is predicting class 1. So in the similarly to the second, the in the second observation, the 15% is it is probabilistic to class 1 and 84% to class 2, and similarly all that. You can using this one, you can actually make 0 and 1 array. Like this is a bit hard to hard to understand. We can convert it into class array. So for that we can use this ypred is equal to list comprehension argmax of I or in this whole multidimensional array. Let us see what is this. Yeah. So basically, what this argmax is doing, it is iterating over all these arrays and giving the index of the maximum number basically. So in the first one, the first index is maximum. In the second one, first index is maximum. Same for third, same for fourth, and same. Anyway, so this is how our logistical regression model works. Let me plot those. You will understand it better. Let me plot that logistical regression. So to plot, we need to get those. What we got? We got our coefficient and intercept somewhere. Where is the coefficient and intercept? Let me comment this. Coefficient. The coefficient is 3.57 and intercept is what was the intercept? Intercept is minus 1.13. So let me plot this. Let me plot this. Yeah. We have the small x. Small x is the linear space. F. This is a sigmoid. The first parameter is the m. The m we got is 3.57. The second parameter is our x. X is basically the x is like this x. This is commonly used to plot any function. This is the x. So minus 10 to 10, 1000 points. This x, and what was our intercept? Intercept was a minus 1.13. Let us see how this shows up. Let me decrease the point a bit. 3 minus 3 to 2.5. Yeah, this is better. So as you can see, these are our points, and this is the fitted curve. This is the S shape as expected, and you can see the threshold is 0.5. So any point above the threshold is classified as 1, and any point below the threshold is classified as 0. There are some noise that will be present. Anyway, you can't be a perfect in this. So that's all about that's all about the logistical regression. You can actually do logistical regression like from scratch using the log likelihood thing, but that would be another long chapter to cover. I'll cover it later. So bye bye, take care.